between the time of the translation of Enoch and the rise of Abraham, there was an age undreamed of. Unto this, Noah built an ark, and Darren Aronofsky, his director, has now told us his saga. Let him take you to the days of high adventure. Hey, film critic M.A. Moreno here with a review of the new film Noah. Loosely based off of the story from Genesis chapters 6 through 9. This movie features Russell Crowe as the titular character Noah, Jennifer Connelly as his wife, and Nick Nolte as the voice of the rockbiter. It certainly draws upon many of the ideas from the original text, but it also takes some interesting liberties. Probably the most interesting being its depiction of what are known as the Nephilim, to make the fallen angels take the form of giant rock creatures. That's just one of the many surprises that Darren Aronofsky has for us as we go into the movie, which finds an interesting tone. It's sort of like a more somber version of some of the 1980s sword and sandal and sword and sorcery movies, Conan the Barbarian or The Beastmaster, while at the same time also having somewhat of a post-apocalyptic feel, which is sort of odd since it's actually a pre-apocalyptic film, and then finally throwing in a little dash of The Shining as we get near the third act. So the movie struggles with the idea of a man bearing the burden of knowing that his whole race, the human race, is about to become extinct. And the fascinating thing is that Noah does not take it the way that you might expect him to, rather than bemoaning the loss of the entire human species. He instead becomes hardened to the idea and utterly convinces himself that this is the best thing. But not only is it best that most human beings be wiped out, but furthermore that all human beings be wiped out. And that's one of the nice twists that the film brings to the material, is that Noah becomes so sickened by the depravity of human beings that he sort of becomes almost Fred Phelps-esque, if you will, in his misanthropy. Before that, for most of the movie, what we see is a Noah who will certainly not appeal to the moral majority, religious right types who are not going to be happy with the general thrust of this movie. Noah is a vegetarian. He is an environmentalist because he is not fond of exploiting the earth more than is necessary in order to survive, in contrast to the other family line of Cain, represented by the villains of the film. The movie features really solid performances, including some nice bits by Anthony Hopkins. The movie is beautiful to look at. It's an epic scale. It's completely enthralling, and most of the liberties it takes with the original source material serve a thematic purpose. So Aronofsky isn't just changing things for the sake of changing things. He's genuinely trying to make a point about the way that a Darwinistic survival of the fittest mindset in human beings is our depravity. While the movie decries the social Darwinistic mindset, at the same time it does manage to slip in a few nods to theistic evolution, even though it keeps the 6-day time model. That's what's going to offend people. And shortly after seeing the film, I happened to walk across a television playing Fox News, and they were decrying the film for this very reason. And I thought, well, the movie has definitely achieved its goals of pointing out to the religious right how hypocritical they really are. Hence all the attempts by Paramount Pictures to get support from various religious figures. Speaking of which, it was nice to see another biblical epic opening up with a Paramount logo. Despite its quirks and despite its potential to alienate its audience, I have to say that this is a movie that I absolutely loved. It was gorgeous, it was epic, it was enthralling, and the characters were all well sketched, and so I'm going to give this my highest recommendation. I don't want to spoil too much more of the movie, so I'm going to leave it at that, and just remind you that I put the cool in Cine-cool. Now time for another MAPSA, where I tell you how to think. I think what we can learn from this movie is those people who think that the world is their oyster have it coming to them when the deluge arrives and totally wipes them out. It's a good message for the kiddies.